Okay, here you guys. Here we you can tell this is gonna be a Curtis stream because the oration was smooth right from the get go. Oration always sounds like it should be something dirty to me though, doesn't it? Oration. I am the orator. Seems like being the orator is something you're proud of if you watch the type of videos that I watch. This is a just chatting stream. Haven't had one in ages. Love these. Want to start doing them regularly. This is where you can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. Don't care how weird, how bizarre, how unsettling. Callenton. Hey Doc, good to see you. Dr. Dirt's in with us. We were talking earlier. Did you guys see today opened Epic Universe at Universal? I was watching some live streams from down there, and of course I'm a theme park fanatic. That's some cool shit. The they got the monster area, and of course the Nintendo area. How to Train Your Dragon. The rides look cool. The interactions look really badass. From what I'm hearing early on, because today's the official opening day, but they've had a couple weeks where people could get in for, I don't know, soft opening, pre-opening, whatever the hell it was. They're saying the food is amazing, and when you're a fat guy, that's very important. Hey Curtis, good to see you. Hi Chrome. Mintman's in. No matter how weird, no matter how weird. Hey Saya. I saw that Miyamoto is there for Nintendo World's Open. Oh, was he? I didn't see that. That's cool. That's very cool. Saya has a question right off. Why does the sun exist, Curtis? Because I allow it. Pretty sure I'm a god. In case you guys were wondering. No, not a god, the god. I'm pretty sure I'm the god. The Donkey Kong desserts, yeah. There are a lot of the desserts there, Crone, that look really cool. And that was, I mean, to their credit, I remember reading during COVID, Disney had come out at one point and said something, I don't remember specifically, but basically along the lines of they were going to have to take a wait and see approach to how theme parks would look on the other side of COVID, because nobody knew, what if any of the long lasting effects were going to be, so on and so forth. And at that point, I remember Universal jumping right on that and saying, no, 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 no. We're telling you people, we're going balls out on theme parks. We're going to be the number one theme park destination in the world. And they said all the things. The food is going to be amazing. The rides, attractions are going to be like nothing you've ever seen. Now they've got all kinds of interactive stuff with characters, live, and some live street performers, everything in the parks, and they've done it. They really have. They've moved past Disney in a lot of those areas for me. And you guys know my whole family's Disney nuts, but just call it how it is. They've really, really stepped up the game. Oh, Solara says, did someone call for God? Guys, we're friends. Call me Mr. God. Well, all right, you got a more godly like name, but I'm wearing a Queen t-shirt, so I think that puts me up higher level on the God thing. Docs has quit my job recently? Did you? That's a scary move, isn't it? I mean, sometimes I don't know obviously the particulars of your situation. Sometimes it's Sometimes it's an excellent move, but still, it's got to be a little scary. Saya says, why Disney fell off? Because of their new remakes. You know what the failings at the box office do is, it seems like, well, not seems like, it's part of it. The Disney Corporation keeps losing money on these movies that they keep fucking up, as they did. I mean, they gave the idiocy in the way they handled Snow White, gave it absolutely no chance whatsoever.
I'm going to
Hey,
bed.
Big Green.
Enjoy the stream, though. Fuck you. I mean, good night.
Well, thanks for popping in, Big Green. I knew it'd be late for you guys. I was for those who don't know, Big Green always hits us with that "We'll be right back" as the stream ends. So, and Jill hits us with that. So Big Green's popping in, popping in plankton as well. Oh, popping in plankton as well. I was surprised to see now. Chrome's here, Lix is here. Big Green popped in for a second. You European folks stay up later than I do. 5 hours from now, when it's the time here that it is the time for you, I will be unconscious. Why Snow White was shit? I know why, but I need a stupid question to ask. They took away, first of all, their lead actress was just so insanely unlikable. But beyond that, they couldn't decide what the hell the story was going to be. First, it was a more traditional Snow White thing. Then Peter Dinklage had a little stroke, touched his penis too much, whatever, and started whining about how somehow Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was demeaning to little people, which of course is asinine. You're just taking away the opportunity for some really prime roles for little people actors. But because Disney's Disney, they went, oh, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So then it was going to be seven magical creatures. Then the entire reaction of the fandom, of the non-fandom of the world was, well, that's fucking stupid. So Disney then went, oh, well, we didn't really mean that. We're going to put the dwarfs in, but they won't be real people. They'll be horrible CGI abominations. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of why it was dog shit. Disney is on fentanyl now, VHS Frank says. Meatball, it's 1 a.m. for you? Let me do a quick math. You're 7 hours ahead? Oh my goodness. Oh, Big Green's got to get up in 6 hours. I should have gone to bed earlier. I do that sometimes too, Big Green. I'm sure all you guys do. Do you have those nights where you know you went to bed too goddamn late, and then you just start watching the clock going, I got to get up in 6.5 hours. If I fall asleep right now, I got to get up in 5 hours and 42 minutes. If I fall asleep right now, and you do that for some time, excuse me, I got to tickle my nose. I shouldn't have done Coke right before the stream. Excuse me, sorry guys. Solara says, I feel like Snow White is one of those stories that doesn't have a lot to adapt. Like Lion King live action was horrible, but I can see why someone would be willing to make it. Yeah, it just, I think Chrome, she wrote this here, same thing. I was thinking, it looks like Disney is just flipping from live action remakes to sequels. Welcome back, Eisner's direct to video sequels. Yeah, remember those? All those direct to videos. Look says, man, fuck the Lilo and Stitch remake. They cut the Bleakley drag. See, I watched Lilo and Stitch many, many years ago when it first came out. Back when I was having serious concussion issues. I don't remember a lot of the movie. And it hadn't really dawned on me that I didn't remember much of it until the remake came out and I tried to recall it. And it was like, well, that ain't there. So I don't remember a lot of... I hadn't heard a lot of... a lot of the... a lot of bad things about it so far, though. Luke says, nah, Zegler is fine. Gal Gadot is a problem. Oh, I disagree. I'm not saying Gal Gadot was great, but I think Rachel Zegler was a huge problem with it. I mean, just in the bad mouthing the whole concept of Snow White, and she's just, to me, just an obnoxious person and did nothing to help promote the movie, and instead did the exact opposite, everything she could to tank it. Well, that's what a lot of people say. I was saying something about the costumes. A lot of people said that, yeah, the costumes looked basically like the stuff you would go out and buy from the party store, or what's oh shit, what's the name of it? What's the name of the Halloween store that pops up in every abandoned building in late September? Spirit Halloween. The stuff you could have gotten from there. Mr. All Nighter says, seems like remakes of any kind are poorly received by critics and audiences alike. Um, that may be true. I think for the most part, at least recently, they've deserved it though. The ones I've seen anyway. I haven't seen all of them, but the ones I've seen, for me, it wasn't that they were a remake. It was just that they sucked. I think a lot of times too, the creative teams that get a hold of them, even if it's the same company that made the original, they decide that they have to put their own special spin or twist or spice or flavor to it. And a lot of times their own special flavor sucks. Odyssey says, hey, sir, big fan. Just wondering, do you know the comedian Bo Burnham? I do. I haven't seen any of him in ages, but I do know him. If so, thoughts on him? I like him. The only thing, and again, this happens with, this isn't to demean the guy at all. I'd seen a couple. I say a couple. One for sure. I think two of maybe his early shows. Really liked him, and then he came out with one that I didn't think was particularly funny. But overall, I like Bo Burnham. It's just if you're asking what my memories are of him, because he's been around for a while. He had specials back when HBO was the ultimate place for comedians to get a special. So I do think he's funny. I just think he had the one special that just didn't make me laugh, and then I just kind of didn't go back to him. I'm sure he's doing good stuff. Lick says Lilo and Stitch is my favorite Disney movie purely for the art style. Nice. The live action remake has no art style, and they're cutting out all the sauce because they don't want to be perceived as woke. Oh, so you're saying that they're like going? Oh boy. So now they're going to overcorrect on the wokeness? See, I hadn't heard that yet. I can't really comment on it because I don't. Again, I can't remember the original to know for sure or have an opinion myself. But yeah, because that's been the big knock against them is they've gone too woke. So it would be, it would be, it would be just like Disney to do an overcorrection. My favorite animated Disney movie would be the Toy Story series, and my favorite of the Toy Story series is 3. The 1970s Robin Hood is my favorite Disney movie. Oh, that's going way back. Yeah, that one. I like that one. I remember that one. I did like that one. Odyssey says that's fair. We're talking about Bo Burnham. He did Inside, which was a Netflix special filmed completely in his room during lockdown. Oh, that's cool. That was the last thing he's done. It was a masterpiece. I believe it because, again, I did like the guy. And typically speaking, I mean, humor is humor. If you like somebody's sense of humor, you're generally going to like it. He just had one special that didn't resonate with me. And it's not like I said, oh, no more Bo Burnham. I just didn't get around to watching anything of his again. But I would definitely try him again. Gabe says, who do you think would win in 2028? The leading candidates right now are Kamala Harris and J.D. Vance. I think Kamala's a terrible, uh, yeah, candidate. Um, it's so hard to say, especially with Vance. A lot of us here in the streams, not all of us, but a lot of us are really into politics. I followed politics my whole adult life. And so those are common names to us. But even though he's vice president, a lot of people don't know a lot about J.D. Vance. So it's hard to say for sure. I just think the Democrats are nuts to run Kamala again. She's just, politics is so much about personality, and I just don't think hers is very good. She just doesn't connect with people. Again, just my opinion. She just seems phony when she tries to be one of us, and I don't think that's ever going to be a winning combination for her. Austin says, thoughts on Big Boss Man, Ray Traylor? I never liked him. I never knew Ray. He was okay. I didn't mind his gimmick. Did you ever meet Tony Blanchard or any Blanchard? Do you mean Tully? Tully Blanchard is one of the first big names I ever met, and no, I did not get along with Tully. Tully was a dick to me, and I loved his dad. If it weren't for Joe Blanchard, I might have made some bad decisions as far as what I wanted to do with a wrestling career. Got nothing but respect for his dad. Um, Tully, in hindsight, I'm not. For a long time, I was kind of, I wouldn't say bitter about it, but annoyed at the way he treated me and didn't like him. But then I look back and I was fucking greener than the green grass of home. And he didn't do anything over the line to me or anything. Didn't really take advantage. So it was also me being kind of inexperienced and getting my panties in a bunch. But also, was he a dick? Yes. And by his own admission, he will tell you back in that time that he was a dick. Let's see. Jeff, thanks for the super chat. I saw that. Jeff says Jim Irsay, Indianapolis Colts owner, died at age 65. I did see that. Yeah, it's too bad. The guy's been a major player in the league for many, many years. I saw that. Odyssey says, who is the most famous wrestler I ever met, and what were they like? Most all of the ex WWE guys and stuff I've met, most all of them have been really good dudes. I don't know who'd be most famous. My favorite of the WWE guys I got to work with was Jimmy Snuka. Snuka was fun. He was crazy, but he was fun. I liked working with him. But I met a bunch of them: Tony Atlas, King Kong Bundy. Oh, let's see. Road Warrior Animal. Ray Apollo, who played Doink the Clown, he was one of my favorite people too. One of the best storytellers I've ever heard. But yeah, I was fortunate. I got to meet a lot of them.
The original Lilo and Stitch had themes of anti-colonialism and tourism, and they also had a character who was a male alien who wore drag, who's become an iconic character among the queer community. They cut that out because they're afraid of showing stuff that can be perceived as queer content in this political climate.
All right, gotcha, Lex. I don't, like I say, I saw that movie and I don't even remember the character. But again, I blame it on the era that I saw. A lot of things from that time of my life are just gone blank now. I can believe that happened. I mean, with the beating they've been taken because of being perceived as overly woke, I can believe that Disney backed away from it. Chrome says, actually, the Democrat frontrunner through their own internals is AOC, followed by Sanders. Yes, it's really that bad. I don't think AOC has a I said that Kamala didn't have a chance. I think she's got a 10 times better chance than AOC does. AOC's game will only play in the hardest of hardcore far left portions of the country, and that's not enough to win you a presidential election. There's just no way. When it's one thing to, want the things that people want to hear. Oh, I want, health care for all, and I want college to be free, and I want this to be free, and I want everybody to have a basic income. And that's all fine and good until you start finding out what it actually costs and what it would actually literally do to the economy. Then it doesn't fly so much. California found that out. All the most extreme things that AOC champions, California has attempted at some point and then dropped because it was too expensive, like single payer health care. They had that all in place several years ago. They were going to put it in. They were going to show the rest of the country that it could be done. And then they started actually getting the numbers from their numbers people, and they just kind of softly walked away from that. Yeah, I did hear about George Wendt passing Gabriel. That was sad too. I love Cheers. Cheers was a really, really good sitcom. Like George a lot. Excuse me. John says, how old were you when you first learned to drive? 16. And what was your first car? The first one I owned was a 1966 Chevy Impala, a blue Chevy Impala. I was living in California at the time, but it was a northeastern car that had been, people had moved out to California. And the reason I bring this up is it had it had a bench seat for a front seat. It was so rusted out underneath that the bolts holding the front part of the seat down had just rusted away. So what would happen is if somebody were to push back on the seat, if the passenger pushed back hard enough on the seat, caught me off guard, they could push the whole bench seat back and I couldn't reach the pedals anymore, which used to lead to some really hilarious and very dangerous situations because my buddies thought that was a very funny thing to do. That car, oh, what an old beast that car was. And let's see. Uh, Odyssey says you still watch boxing. Not as much as I'd like to. I love boxing.
Why do you not ask Yoda for money? Because he is a little short. Why does Princess Leia go shopping at the Darth Mall?
At the Darth Mall. I love terrible puns. No, I don't as much as I should, Odyssey. I still love boxing. It just seems like something I just never get around to watching. I've been a boxing fan my whole life. The Usyk versus Dubois match in July and Joshua versus Fury apparently in talks for October. Oh, Joshua versus Fury, I'd like to see that again. Yeah, yep, that's a fight I'd watch. Usyk versus Dubois as well. And then I forget about them and don't see them till the next day, and then I see the replays. Beaches says, hey everyone, have prices dropped for you? Dropped as opposed to like a few months ago? For me, yeah, around here. In general, they have. If we're talking eggs, because that became the cornerstone of the campaigns, yeah, eggs are way down here. I don't know about everybody else. Here it's way down from what it was. Oh, I love UFC. Xanolex? Any type of fighting art I watch. It doesn't have to be an art. Any type of fighting I watch. I watch street fights on YouTube all the time. Well, you usually have to go off YouTube because they won't let you post the really good street fights. Yeah, that's what I got to do is I just got to remember Odyssey. And see, I'm such a boxing fan. I love to watch a big name fight. But the thing is, like, if I'm sitting there clicking channels and I see on a local channel or a local cable channel or even on ESPN, if I see fights from East Buttfuck, Nebraska, I'll even watch those. I just like to watch fights. Austin says, joke of the day. What do you call two nuns and a blonde? Answer, a tight end and a wide receiver. What superhero movie do I like the most, Tyler? Probably, the final Avengers movie. And again, you guys know me and names always escape me. What the hell is the name of the final Avengers movie? But anyway, yeah, that I just love that movie. I thought that was so well done. Endgame. Thank you, Chrome. Thanks, Pinspace. That tied up that whole story so well. Loved everything about it. Everything about it. Just thought that was an amazing movie. And ZOMG Ruler says, do you like the Beach Boys? I listened to them. They were never like one of my favorites. But I listened to them when I was younger. Because, they were, when I was a kid, I was born in 61. When I was a kid, they were still hot and around at the time. Yeah, I listened to some of their music. Again, they were never a big deal to me. Queen is my favorite rock band of all time. Loved Aerosmith as far as the old bands. Singles like loved Billy Joel, Elton John. But yeah, I listened to the Beach Boys. Beaches, do you like sushi? No. I'm not much, well, a lot of you don't know, my tastes are, you wouldn't expect this from a big fat man like me. My tastes are very narrow. There's not a lot of different foods I like, and I'm not a big seafood guy at all. Every once in a while, I'll have a fish sandwich. I like fried clams once in a while, but that's about it. I'm not a fish guy at all, but no sushi. No sushi for me. That's a pain in the ass having tastes this narrow. You go to, we'll go out to a restaurant, the family or what have you, and you go to a different place and everybody else is getting all excited, like, oh, they got this, oh, they got this, oh, they got, wow, look at this, they got that. And everybody's deciding, oh, geez, I don't know what I want. I want it all. It looks so good. And I'm like, I want a hamburger, plain. If you put cheese on it, I'll kill you. That's me. Chrome says, by the way, I saw that Scrubs isn't doing too well. No, it's not doing well here at the YouTube channel. It did great at the Goosh. Not terribly surprised, honestly. I was a bit doubtful how much demand there'd be. It'll be coming to the Goosh. It'll definitely be coming to the Goosh. But I think it had little to no chance here because of the mode. I just don't think there's still a lot of people that are interested in watching the face cam and timer reactions. yeah, Lex. Shut up and eat your dino nuggies, Curtis, pretty much. It's sad. It sucks. It's nothing I take pride in. I wish I did have, an adventuresome palate or had a palate at all. Everybody, like I say, everybody else is getting all excited about their food. And like you say, I'm eating a dino nuggie. And if it touches the macaroni and cheese that it came in the little microwave plate with, I ain't eating that dino nuggie no more. Because anything that touches American cheese is not getting eaten by me. Brother A says, no notification, but that's okay. Made it myself. Good. I'm glad you came in. Are fish sticks better than nuggets? For me, Beaches, not usually. Like I say, every once in a while, I'll have some fish sticks, but yes, I know that makes me a gay fish. I don't care. I'm just a gay fish once in a while, but no, overall, nuggets for the win. I've never had calamari, Lex. Never had it. I can't imagine I ever will. I can't imagine I would like it again because my tastes are so limited. Shelby says, debate my partner and his co-workers had. Do characters who can fly have power over gravity? I'm not sure, Shelby, how you're framing the question. Obviously, they have some sort of power over gravity. I've been
fighting the chaos in the Middle East. Something Toriyama never had the balls to do. The biggest threat to our democracy is Frieza. His tyranny has come to an end. Captain Ginyu has swapped bodies with the director of the FBI Trust. No one, not even Vegeta. No matter how much he wants to fuck you in the ass.
I like that. I like too how he wrote that perfectly, and yet Tangia just ignores the punctuation. It's like we'll put these words in where we want to put them. But do characters? Yeah, they got to have some sort of power over gravity, right? Because they're flying. So I would think. I don't know how else would they fly, unless you wouldn't say they have power over gravity if they're propelled by something. I don't know. I never really listened to Superman like farting the whole time he's flying. Is that is that the propulsion? Because if not, that's the only way I could see. Okay. Okay, Shelby says, my answer is that they have control over their personal gravity, but power over gravity implies that they can change the gravity of other things too, which they can't. Right, well, that's what I thought you meant, their personal gravity. Oh, okay, so that's the question. Do people who can fly change the gravity itself. No, I would agree with you. I would think it's whatever it is, it's their own personal thing. Whether it's they can separate themselves from gravity when they want to, or as I said, or they have some sort of propulsion to release themselves from our gravity. Lick says, do you think Superman does what planes do and takes a dump while he's over the ocean and it freezes while falling? I don't know, but thanks, because I'll be up all night thinking about that now, because now I need to know whether that's what he does. Does the Superman costume have like the little flap in the back, like, you know, the big one-piece pajamas used to, so he can just shit over the ocean as need be? Well, great. All right, somebody rock me to sleep now. I'm going to be thinking about that. Ruler says, all this talk of food is making me hungry. I would agree with you, but I was already hungry because I'm a fat guy. It's what I do. Chrome says, well, you have some taste. You don't like American cheese product. Oh, so disgusting. Which is unfortunate given the cooking stream I'm sponsoring on indeterminate date. Yeah, like I say, there's no way I would eat it. Not eating American cheese. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. That was, shit, I forgot all about it. Oh, it's something I blocked out of my mind. It was last week. My wife and I we had some errands to do. We got home later than we wanted, so we just stopped and got fast food. I'm trying to remember, I did block it out entirely. I can't remember which place it was from. Was it I think it was Burger King. Got home, I always check. I didn't check. Took a bite out of the burger and there was American cheese on it. I almost puked. I always check first. Took that big bite, spit it right back out into the wrapper, started getting the dry heaves, and didn't get to have my hamburger. Oh, God. Oh, it's so gross. Christian says, I can't even count the number of lunches I've eaten as a child that included American cheese. Yeah, well, you're the normal one. I'm the, well, goes out saying I'm an abnormal one. Spaz Kid. It's not hereditary because Spaz Kid loves American cheese. Since he was a little kid, grilled cheese, macaroni and cheese, all that stuff, and to this day, are his vibe. You know, they'll be over on the weekend sometimes because his Spaz Kid's fiance, works part-time, works weekends at a restaurant just down the street from us. So they come here and spend Saturday and Sunday because it's closer, obviously more convenient for them. And while he's here, he'll ask my wife every so often to still make him a grilled cheese sandwich and everything. Conversation of Sora Shrek says, why do you hate American cheese? What about it caused you to hate it? The taste. I've got nothing against it except how it tastes. It's disgusting. That taste is just horrifically vile to me. Mistress says, when I grow up, I want to become a gravity mage just like the moon. And Rick says, I have taste. I stick mozzarella on literally everything. Oh, yeah? Love mozz there? Now, see, I can eat cheese depending on the dish, not American cheese. But there are a lot of dishes where I will eat cheese. Obviously, I'm a pizza fanatic. If it wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a direct ripoff of Dave, forgot his last name, guy who does all the pizza reviews. That's something I would have liked to have done for the channel. Just every time I go somewhere new, go do a pizza review. Because I mean, I am a fanatic for pizza, but it would be such an obvious ripoff. But it'd still be fun to do. Fun thing to do. How do I like my steak, Robert? A little bloody. I used to, when I was younger, I would eat it like, you know, you just light a match and swipe it by each side, and that was cooked enough. Now I have it cooked a little more than that. I think that was probably just an overreaction to the fact that when I was a kid and we would have steak, which wasn't often, we didn't have a lot of money. But when
you're supposed to be dumpster diving for ham scraps, you six-piece chicken McNobody. Get out of my seat.
Six-piece chicken McNobody. That's a good one. I hadn't seen that one before. My parents would just, incinerate the meat. Everything was well done. And then, and what used to really get me too is I would ask my mom, I'd say, Mom, can you please just take mine off early? I don't like it well done. No, that's how it's good. But that's what it was in a lot of families back then. As a kid, you just shut up and do what we're told you. We know what's good. And I couldn't get her to, easiest thing in the world. Don't cook mine as long. Can I have mine? No, this is how it's good. Crazy old lady. Beaches says, I feel like fried steak fingers are not a thing anymore. I just had that country fried steak though that they have at Cracker Barrel. My wife loves Cracker Barrel. She likes the food, but she loves all that kitsch that they sell at those stores, that old school stuff. So we had to go up to New York this past weekend so I could do hypnosis for my grandson's prom. So we stopped at Cracker Barrel on the way up and on the way back. And I had the country fried steak there. Mr. says, I like them well cooked. I think it's called in English, at least for beef. Light brown in the middle. Light brown in the middle would be like, would be a medium well, we would call it here. Medium rare, that's what I get too, Ruler. Medium rare steak. No, I don't like well done anything. Any red meats, any meats, I don't like them to get crispy at all. Mr. Allnighter says, you miss your parents a lot? My dad is gone. My mom's still with us, but she's in an assisted living center. She has dementia. It sounds like a callous thing to say no, I don't. It's not that I never miss them, but for me, as I've gotten older, life unfolds in a very predictable, obvious manner. I didn't expect my parents to be with me for the duration of my life. And I know that's no excuse, but I mean, my focus right now, I can tell you guys honestly, I live right now to make sure that if I die first, which I probably will, my wife will be okay, and I do everything I can to set up my kids and grandkids. As far as me having wants, desires, other than a pizza every once in a while, none. So I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about that. There is definitely and maybe it's because I'm not religious, but there's an end to life. I understand there's an end to life, and my dad was older, never took care of himself, and his ended. And also, my dad and I never had like a connection like Braxton and I do. Not that he was a bad guy or anything, he just wasn't that type of guy. He didn't make that type of deep connection with you. So, I do fine with it. What I wouldn't be able to handle is losing one of my kids. But losing your parents, you expect to do. My dad lived to 88? No. OMG ruler, he lived to 71. He was the same height as me, over 300 pounds pretty much his whole adult life, smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day his whole adult life. And even though we're the same weight, it was an entirely different thing. My dad couldn't even move around, whereas I still, if I want to go out, like I've always said, if I want to go out and shoot baskets, play basketball with the high school kids, I can. If I want to go out and do this, do that, whatever. Athletically, I can't do it well anymore because I'm old, but I can do it. I stay active. He never did. So he didn't give himself anything of a shot. When you're going to weigh that much, be totally inactive, and smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day, odds aren't good of you seeing 88. What kind of cigarettes? About the worst ones you could think of, VHS Frank. Lucky Strikes. The unfiltered, pure cancer sticks. 3 packs a day. And he had a very addictive personality, not only addicted to the cigarettes, but coffee. He would not, it was so bad, he would not leave the house without bringing a whole thermos of coffee. He had to have that coffee with him at all times. Even if the drive was going to take more than 20 minutes or so, you had to have the thermos of coffee with you so you could pour some out and drink while you were driving it. My mom is 90. No, she is, let's see, I can figure it out. I can tell you exactly what she is. She is 88. Almost. So you're almost right. 88. Luckies are filtered now, are they, Joe? He would have stopped smoking them then. Filtered were for, you were a baby if you smoked a filtered cigarette. You got to taste that weed burning. Ruler says my dad is 74 and is more physically active than me. Yeah, when I play things like when I get the opportunity to go play pickleball and stuff, it's pretty amazing to me. We got people well into their 70s. We got some in their 80s, and they're still out there playing. That was a game, and you guys know that I'm. It's actually funnier to talk to you guys about the things that I do really poorly. That pickleball was a game I took to really fast. I pretty much had to. I couldn't play with people my own age because I felt like I got good enough at it. I felt like I was being a bully, and I don't like doing that. So we would have to travel, and Brax got good at it too. And now he's young, so I could play with him. But other than that, I would have to travel like down to Charlotte to these pickleball courts and stuff and play with younger people because I didn't want to seem like I was just bullying people. But I could hit the ball so hard and with so much spin. I'm really good at spinning the ball that they couldn't hit it back. And again, that's not fun. That's just bullying people. Do I headbutt anyone in volleyball or in pickleball? I try not to. You never know when a headbutt might be needed. But that's... it made me think... I started playing pickleball here at the local YMCA. That's where I first learned about it. Nice group of people, older people. And even there, it just seems like it follows... Maybe it's me. It follows me around. There ended up being a confrontation even there. I'll tell you guys the story quickly. Again, we had a great little group. I really liked the people that played there. It was mostly women. There were a couple other guys that played too, but mostly women. And we had one guy come in to play. Now, he was, most of the people there were my age, so some of them were a little older, but most in 60s. Oh, Jesus Christ, that fucking puppet. I hate that thing.
What up, fuckers? I've returned from the grave.
Oh, always good to see you, Bender. So we would all play together, have a good time. Well, this other guy came down. He was a little younger than us. He was probably 50 maybe. And he was one of these people, he didn't really want to learn the game. He would just try and hit the ball as hard as he could. Well, it's not going to do you any good as far as wins and losses in pickleball if all you can do is smash it as hard as you can, no matter what.
Joe tonight, despite his cancer diagnosis.
Oh, geez.
His greed of not having a real primary and not dropping out early while sucking Netanyahu. His cock. Costed us the White House. I hope it was worth the free ice cream.
I don't
Joey
think
B.
he did, but I
When
think it
he
was a bad move.
McDonald's with Trump while playing Darth Jar in Fortnite. Obama out.
the way Tangia pauses those things is funny. So anyway, he would hit the ball as hard as he could, but the problem was he couldn't control it. So at one point, he hit, as a matter of fact, Brax's fiance, Braxton, his fiance were playing with us, he hit her. And I said something to him. I said, listen, don't just whale the ball. I said, if you can't control it, this is a friendly game. I mean, it's at the Y. It wasn't even highly competitive. We're all just, most of the people were learning to play. We're having a good time together. I said, don't hurt people. I said, learn to play. Learn to, position the ball. Well, he didn't really pay much attention to that. And there were a couple other near misses. Then he hit another lady in the arm. And I told him again. I said, listen, don't whale the ball. She had a big red mark on her arm. It's starting to piss me off. I said, you can't control it. Nobody wants to get hurt here. Everybody's just trying to have a good time. Learn to hit the ball. Okay, I will. It was like the next week, he zipped one at this one lady's head. Sweet, sweet lady that plays there. And she dropped right on the floor, got out of the way. If she hadn't, it would have nailed her in the face. And I snapped a little. And I went over to I waited for the game to get over because I wasn't even on, I was waiting on the side. It wasn't my turn. He came over and I got him away from the rest of the people. I didn't want to embarrass him. And I told him, I said, listen, motherfucker. I said, I told you a bunch of times, learn to hit the ball. I said, you hurt anybody else, I'm going to fucking hurt you. I said, do you understand? And he just kind of looked at me and he,
oh dear, by Azure.
And he just like nodded and he never came back and played again. Somebody gave Joe cancer as well. But it just seems like, and I was probably wrong. I probably didn't have to get that extreme, but shit like that gave Joe cancer in his balls by Azura. But it just pissed me off. I don't know. It was the right thing to do. I'm glad you guys think so. But I like I said, I didn't just snap. I told them several times. And I like these people, very nice people. And again, these ladies are just learning to play the game, just want to have a good time, and you got a ball coming 60 miles an hour at your face. And I even tried to explain to him, I said, hitting the ball hard isn't going to do you any good. I could kick his ass easy in the game. If you hit it hard at me, that's just going to give me more to work with when I spin it back at you. And I tried to explain that to him, but he just likes to swing. He never came back. I don't get to play much anymore, but I'm still in touch with the people, you know, the group that plays down there, and they've told me he that was last season, and he didn't come back at all this season. Yeah, like I say, Chrome, I can't say, I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I regret being like that. That's who I am. That's what I did. It probably didn't have to be that extreme a reaction, but I don't know. Whatever. Mister says you can break your nose that way. My nose almost broke because I got hit in the face by a volleyball. Oh, volleyballs hurt a lot more. I took one to the mush. We were playing at a local group, not the Y, another local group here. The players are better at this local group. And older guy, probably my age, maybe a couple of years older. And this was strictly an accident. He's a good player. And we're up at the kitchen volleying at the net. And my partner popped one up and he went to put it away, which is cool. And he just mishit it. And I mean, when you're both up there, you're only a few feet from each other. When you're both up at the net, he blasted that thing right in my face, right in the center of my face, whacked me in the nose. And I almost had to laugh. He comes running to the net. He's, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking wiffle ball. It's all right. Don't worry about it. No, that's not right. I shouldn't, I'm so sorry to me. But people do, for me anyway, I mean, for me playing it, get a little carried away with how much they overreact sometimes to being hit. But the guy, he came up to me and apologized again later. It's like, dude, it's not a big deal. You didn't do it on purpose. But I guess everything is graded on a curve. Taking a wiffle ball to the face isn't much after people have literally smacked you with baseball bats wrapped with barbed wire and stainless steel sinks to the head and a manure shovel that knocked me out. I can't find it in myself to get really concerned about a wiffle ball hitting me in the face. Oh yeah, I look a lot like Rick Harrison. Rick Harrison or an old Caucasian Thanos. Brother, he says you should have laughed it off and tell him, yeah, at least it's not a manure shovel. Yeah, and it is. He's a nice guy. He still plays over at this little community center we have all the time. Super guy. He wouldn't do it on purpose. You know, it'd be different if he thought somebody was trying to be a dick. I know 100% it was an accident, but he felt so bad. It's like, it's fine. Oh, man, you got a mark there. It's like, yeah, this face, you think a mark matters? Then there was the sink. I've often said the sink stung when I got hit in the head with the stainless steel sink. The sound was worse. I think the sound of that sink crashing right next to my ears like that hurt more than the impact of the sink. Rick says you should have pretended to have brain damage to mess with them. Yeah, pretended. you're, you're right, though, Lex. You're right. I should have just said, no, I'm fine. Let's go play the ball. Start walking like I had a stroke, one side all messed up. Oh, guys, we got a super chat here. Let me take a look. It's from Oni. Thanks for super chat, Oni. Says, hello, Curtis. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And I am. Whenever I'm doing this, I'm having a good time. I'm going to do these streams more often. I love these streams where we just sit and talk. I've got, now during these streams, we never run out of shit to talk about. But if we do at any point, I always have queued up, have social media queued up. So if we decide that the conversation's lagging a little, we'll just start doom scrolling and see what kind of stupid shit people are posting and make comments on it.
How I feel after clearing out protesters with my
Volkswagen Beetle.
It's still stronger than that.
That's right, Willie. Even the Beetle will take even my tiny little Mitsubishi Mirage will take out a protester. Most protesters. Some of them get to be quite sizable. Best day ever, Jeff says. Young Pacalypse says, have you ever watched superhero movies? It's a funny movie. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I want to say, yeah, I think, is this the one I'm thinking of? Not start to finish. It was one of those that was on whatever streaming service or cable, at the time probably would have been cable station. They were playing it, so I would catch it here and there, and the bits and pieces I saw were funny. If I'm thinking of the right movie, but no, I haven't seen it start to finish. Brother, he says, I saw the food at Epic Universe and it looks so amazing. The Mario themed food looks fun and the Harry Potter food is looking delicious. I was surprised when we went to, I haven't been to Universal in several years, but when we went to Universal, how tasty their butterbeer was. And of course, at that time, the thing that really impressed me was at that time, I had not even seen the Harry Potter movies yet. You know, I watched them with you guys since. But I love that Harry Potter land. It was just fascinating to me. I can't wait to go back now that I've seen the movies. And of course, they have another Harry Potter attraction in the new park. That's something too. My wife and I were talking about that the other day. When you guys, when I drink, not only out of one of these bottles or something, if I drink out, have a regular water bottle, if I have a Gatorade bottle, actually, if I have a cup of water, I will always pour it into my mouth. I don't put my lips on the container. Do any of you guys, I mean, I have a specific reason that I do that. Do any of you, I have cooties. Do any of you guys do that as well? And then I'll tell you why I do it. Mistress says, me and you in 2v2 volleyball versus Tom Cruise and another Scientology cultist. I used to play many years ago at the Y I belonged to back then, back in New York. I used to play some volleyball. I suck. I'm a terrible volleyball player. You do at times? And Luke says, yeah, that's fun. He has space age. That could be CJP. Luke says, also I have cooties or whatever. No, you know how it started for me was playing sports. Going back to even my days in baseball, a lot of times, like when I was playing semi-pro, well, a lot of us didn't have a lot of money. I was one of the few guys on the team that at least had a regular job and stuff. So if you stopped at 7-Eleven, this is going, again, back into the late 70s. If you bottled water was first becoming a thing back then. So if you had a water, you had a drink of something, everybody'd want to share. You know, because not everybody brought one. So I got in the habit of, you would just take and you didn't want to backwash into it for the next guy, so you just pour it into your mouth. And most all the guys in the dugout would do that. If you had a shared bottle of water or something, everybody would pour it in. And it just became a thing now. I found that I do that all the time. Lick says Curtis was born before water was invented. They had to drink piss back then. Oh, it's the circle of life. No no VTuber reactions playing right now. Anyways, you never know what might change in the future. Oh, me too, ruler. Says I'm addicted to junk food. I have a problem. That's my issue too. That's why I am a fat guy. Just way too much junk food. Chrome says I get paid in 5 minutes. Yes. That's the payday. That's the fun times. In his day, he had to walk 10 miles to the well if he wanted water. I'm not lying, Joe. When I was very young, we rented a house in a little town called Mariahville, New York, and the kitchen had a pump. I'm not kidding you. You would pump the water up into the kitchen. When I was a kid, my mother had a ringer washing machine. That's where the phrase, putting somebody through the ringer comes from. You would wash the clothes into, it had an actual ringer attached to it. And you would put the article of clothing, the two rolls of the ringer would come together. You'd put it right there at the point they meet, and then you would spin the rollers and it would crush a lot of the water out. Yes, in the kitchen, Joe, though, had a pump. It was an old farmhouse. Did you? Good for you. Alex says, speaking of payday, I pre-ordered a Switch too. Don't expect any TNGs from me anytime soon. Yeah, good. I'm glad you were able to get one. Young Paco says, Herbert or Brian? Well, they're two entirely different types of dirtbags. Herbert is obviously just, if we're talking anything even near real life, just should be under a prison. Brian, I just would be better off if he didn't exist. Tyler says, how often do you exercise? It depends on how you want to define it. I exercise every day. I have specific stretching and strength training I do every day. And then beyond that, trying to get cardio, whether it's going out for a walk, maybe a jog, depending on how I feel, going down and beating the shit out of Bob the heavy bag. I try and get that in several times a week. But as far as my base workout, every day without fail, at my age I have to, especially the stretching. As you get older, that's where you really notice the difference. The flexibility, pliability of the muscles and tendons just goes to shit. Oni says, oh, thanks for super chat. Says burgers or pizza. That's tough. Those are my two top, Oni. Those are my two top. I tell my wife that all the time. If we go someplace new, I always look for a place to try pizza or burgers. If I had to choose one or the other, though, it's pizza. There's no food I like more than pizza. But those are like my two favorites, yes, in general. Food Wars was a good anime. Excuse me. Austin says, I love Piper. Oh, Roddy Piper. He was a great worker in the ring, great on the mic. Yeah, he was. Did you like him or any 80s wrestler? Did you meet them? Why do you hate cheese? Again, American cheese, I hate just because of the taste. It's fucking disgusting. Yeah, Piper was phenomenal. Great worker. I didn't meet him, but when you're in the business as long as I was, you basically worked with people. There's always not many degrees of separation between you and any wrestler because it's actually kind of a smallish community. So in other words, I know a lot of guys that worked with Piper. I think he got a little too overprotective sometimes of his one-loss record, and I was never a big fan of guys doing that. But that's a minor detail. He was excellent in-ring worker and absolutely revolutionary on the mic. CJP says, yeah, my granddad is 83 and this dude still does jumping jacks and shit. That's good. And you have to. I mean, that's what I found as you got older. If you want to be able to do stuff, you have to keep doing it every day. And I keep trying to tell my wife to make sure she does that. It's just like same part of my morning routine every day is doing a bunch of squats. And when I do the squats, you don't do them with momentum. In other words, you don't get down onto your haunches and spring back up. I go down, stop, pause, come back up. That's to keep the knee joints flexible as possible, loosened up. So I don't want to be one of these people that, like today, if I'm out mowing my lawn and I got to clean the mower, I don't want to have to work my way down to my knees and, and then push yourself back up with your hands. I want to be able to just squat down, do what I need to do, and get back up. Yeah, I know, Kyle, we were talking about that. George Wendt being gone. That's sad. Interesting. Chrome says, I actually just got a pan to make Detroit-style pizza in my pizza oven. See, refresh me, Chrome. I know Chicago style. What's Detroit style? Chicago style I don't care for just because I don't like the heavy on the sauce. As a matter of fact, when I order pizzas, and that is largely because I'm an old fart now and too much sauce makes pizza a less pleasant experience for me, I always order it light on the sauce. That's why I don't like Chicago. Detroit. The square pizzas. Okay, Detroit square pizzas. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Oh, see, I don't mind those, brother E. I don't mind that. Luke says, I'll eat any kind of pizza. I'll just cut up more mozzarella and stick it back to recook. Well, like you say, if you've got that hankering, that desire for mozzarella that you do, yeah. But again, if Dave wasn't doing those, I guess it wouldn't hurt to do it. I would love to do that. I don't know how much interest there'd be, but make videos just going to different pizza places and reviewing them. That would be fun as hell. Kyle says, pineapple goes on pizza 100%. No. And my wife loves that shit. Hawaiian pizzas and stuff. In fairness, I don't care for pineapple. And that's not even one of those, well, that figures Curtis things. There are a lot of fruits I like. I just don't care for pineapple that much to begin with.
All right,
but putting it on pizza?
I gotta
no.
go. I'm seeing the new Mission Impossible tonight.
Oh, cool.
I'd be lying if I said I was seeing it for any other reason than to see Tom Cruise try and kill himself. Fingers crossed for him.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know how it is, Willie. In one of the upcoming streams, let us know if it was any good. I just the little bit, I see on social media and stuff, I guess it's getting spoken of pretty highly. It'll be interesting. I got to give him credit. Tom Cruise, I believe, is the same age as me. And he's out there kicking ass on a lot of those stunts. I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan, but, it doesn't hurt to give credit where it's due. He's out there working it. Domino's stuffed crust pizza is amazing. Oh, Kyle, Domino's, excuse me. Domino's screwed me years ago, and I never got over it. Domino's used to be one of my, if not my favorite pizza place. I would have Domino's pizza way too often. To this day, and now this is going back, I remember when I lived on, it was Division Street in Amsterdam, New York, so it would have been like 84, 85, 86. Holy shit, time goes by in a hurry. So we're talking 40 years ago. I still remember the number for that Domino's pizza. That's how often I ordered it. And if you guys want to check me, you can even look it up. It's the Domino's pizza, because I think it's still there. The Domino's pizza in Amsterdam, New York, and the number should be 518-842-7227. And I haven't ordered from there in at least 35 years because Domino's was my favorite. They went out there and made a big deal about they changing their sauce. They had a whole new sauce. It's like, oh man, Domino's is going to get even better. I ordered one and it was fucking disgusting. And I refused to believe that Domino's had ruined life for me. So I ordered another and it remained fucking disgusting. And then many years later, coming back from a wrestling show, going through Lake George, New York, I ordered another because it was the only place still open. I thought, it's been years now. I'm sure they realized that that sauce was disgusting and they have something new. I threw that fucking thing in the ditch on the side of the road. Domino's pissed me off. Yeah, Brother E's going to call them and see what they say. That's sad. It just dawned on me. I could have misremembered, but I don't think I am. 518-842-7227. I used to dial that number endlessly. Of course, you're going back to the days of rotary phones and shit. So you didn't just have Domino's in your phone where you could just click the button. I had to have the number memorized. Yeah, I saw that, Kyle. That George went past. Really? Chrome says, you're right. Domino's is disgusting, but I'd eat it over Scottish pizza any day. It's that bad. Wow. Well, because both my sisters moved down here many years before we did to North Carolina. And I got lucky in that regard because they told me when we come down to visit, I would see it. Didn't used to be many good pizza places around here at all. The pickings were pretty slim for pizza. But now it's gotten much better. A lot of it, I think, is because this area is just blowing up as far as population. So when you have, obviously, a large population explosion, every business starts trying to come in, and that includes people from New York moving here who actually know how to make a pizza. So I'm lucky I can get good pizza here now. Beaches says, my Domino's is great, might be regional. It's probably just, you just have a taste for the sauce, Beaches. Because obviously Domino's stayed in business all those years. So somebody likes it, but it ain't me. I was just pissed because I fucking loved it. Favorite frozen pizza brand? It's one of the things I make fun of myself about, Licks. There are certain things that has nothing to do with money, and I like the cheapest. Bologna sandwiches. There's this bologna I buy locally that costs like $1.29 for a whole big pack. And I don't buy it just to save money. I love saving money. But it's my favorite. The name brands, Oscar Mayer or something, cost me 3 times as much, and I don't like them. The razor blades for shaving my head, I have to buy the cheapest ones I can find. There's these little blue mass manufactured things that you can get at Walmart or any of the stores. They put their own name on them. They're the only ones that really work well for it. Excuse me, I just saw something there. Same is true with pizza. There's a maker, I think it's a national maker, it's Tony's. I have 2 of them in the freezer right now. I always keep at least 2 on hand. My wife has something to do or something. I throw them in the oven and I make them for myself for dinner. They're super cheap, bottom of the barrel ones, and I like them better than any, and I try all of them. Again, it's pizza. If a frozen pizza is available locally, I have tried it, and they are my favorite. You got those DiGiorno ones, again, cost twice as much, maybe more. Nope, that cheap-ass Tony's pizza, so good. Tombstone, too. Tombstone, the same thing. Tombstone is very similar to Tony's Beaches, yep. Mr. All Nighter says, might order from Domino's tonight. That always stuck with me because I fucking love Domino's. And I was so angry when they changed that sauce. But this is going way back. It was probably before a lot of you guys were born that the sauce was changed. So, again, you guys wouldn't even know that Domino's. It had to be mid or late 80s that they made that big change. Yeah, probably late 80s. Because they had it for several years before they changed it. Lix says, I'm the same, except it's Tesco store brand. Isn't that funny, Lix? How that goes? Because you would think, when you're eating something like that, or like I say, or the razor blades I use, you're thinking, trying to cut some corners, save some money. No, it's the one that tastes good or the one that works. Same with that bologna. Again, Oscar Mayer costs literally 3 times as much, maybe even more than this. It's called Bar S is the brand name. Same with the hot dogs. Bar S hot dogs are the hot dogs I eat. And again, not because they're the cheapest, because they're better to me than the Oscar Mayer ones or any of the others. It's weird. I'm a cheap date. That's all. Yeah. I put out and I'm a cheap date. So, I'm a pretty fun guy. Correct. Kyle says, leftover cold pizza is good to have for breakfast. 100%. Young Apocalypse says pizza with barbecue sauce or syrup. Does that sound good? No, that did not sound good to me. Domino's Pizza Market and Division, right? That's where they are. Amsterdam, New York, 12010. That's them, brother E. Yep. I ordered from that place constantly. And, well, again, as I said, it had to be a lot. You guys know all the brain damage I've had since, well, of course it is short-term memory that I have trouble with, and that's long-term. But still, all the cranial trauma I've had between last time I ordered from there and today, and I still remember their phone number. And I haven't even lived in New York for several years now. Austin says, how much do you pay for gas in your hometown? We pay $2.67. Just like the rest of the country, Austin changes daily. Gas prices are all over the place, but we're very similar. The last time I filled up was a few days ago. And boy, it was right around that. I think it might have been $2.69, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I think it was $2.69 I paid the other day. Excuse me. Joe Schmo, thanks for the super chat, pal. He says, Domino's changed the recipe in 2010. It's an improvement. Maybe give them one more try. Did they? I'm trying to think now that I haven't had it since then. You're right then. Yeah, because I'm trying to think. The last time I had it was what I told you guys, that wrestling show in Lake George, but that was pre-2010 for sure. That would have been, oh yeah, that would have been early 2000s. Because Brax was born in 2000, and that's when I started cutting way back on wrestling because I didn't want to be a vegetable before my son even graduated high school. So that was probably 2002 maybe. I don't know. We have Domino's here locally. I could try it again. Young Apocalypse says, I thought Amsterdam was in Denmark. The better one is our Amsterdam is. That's also the city I worked for where I retired. The city of Amsterdam. I didn't live there. Well, I lived there for a short time, but I lived most of the time in a neighboring community. It's one of the most depressed counties in America. They're sister counties, Fulton and Montgomery County, and very economically depressed. Super Dre, thanks for the super chat. Says, Curtis, you're my favorite old dude on the YouTubes. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. It's kind of you to say. Old dude is very aptly described, sadly. Really? Oni says, the biggest food grudge I've ever seen was my father refusing to touch McDonald's for 25 years. Uh-oh, what if McDonald's pulled Domino's on him? I don't eat McDonald's much anymore. When we lived in where my wife and I lived for over a quarter of a century in Fonda, New York, for the longest time, McDonald's was the only chain fast food place right local. You had to go several miles to get to the others. So we used to have it quite regularly just because of the convenience. Since then, I've had it maybe twice. And that was just because a couple times I got a hankering for some McDonald's fries. But I hardly ever have McDonald's anymore. We have so many food places around us now. McDonald's is always going to be at the very bottom of the list. Beaches says, any tips on helping with sleep? Yeah, of course, with doing the hypnosis. That's what I believe hypnosis is best at. It would take a little while. We could have a stream dedicated to hypnosis, but I could give you tips on what to do and why it works, because I discovered that I hate to just give the tips, because if you don't understand why it's working, I don't think it's as effective. One of my pet peeves was being a fanatic for hypnotism, as I have been, and been fascinated by it for, again, 40 years, is it's still, a lot of the working hypnotists, stage hypnotists, are magicians as well. So they want to portray hypnotism as this mystical thing. They're hitting you with hypnotic beams from their fingers type stuff. And of course it's not. It's none of that. It's a very natural process. And if you understand how it works and why it works, it's really beneficial. I use the things I learned about hypnosis all the time, whether it's to fall asleep, to chill myself out, to calm down, to use it playing sports all the time. And it's a very natural thing, and it's really cool how powerful your mind is if you understand how to leverage the subconscious, which is where you keep all your memories and all the things that you've learned, the things that you've seen in the past that can help you avoid bad things in the future. And so when you have all these hypnotists, stage hypnotists out there trying to portray it as something magical and mystical, it kind of pisses me off. It's funny you say that, Coded. He said, I used to watch you react to Filthy Frank. I was just on Frank's channel. Was it today or yesterday? It was earlier today. I think I'm going to go back through his videos, if they'll stay up, and post some reactions to him again. I miss Papa Franco. And now it's been so many years since I saw them. There's a lot of them I would like to rewatch. And I was scrolling through his list of videos, and there's quite a number I think I didn't see. So there will probably be some, again, if they'll stick, some Papa Frank videos coming up. Brother Reese says, went to a con at Philadelphia this past weekend. Cool. Met a few people. John Cena, Mel Gibson, Christopher Lloyd, Danny Glover. Very cool roster. Andy Serkis, Giancarlo Esposito. Wow. Very diverse, yeah. Wow, cool one. Young Apocalypse. I did not see The Sopranos. Everybody raves about what a great series that was, but I have not seen it. Francis of the Filth. Yes, Frank. That guy was so goddamn entertaining. That's, well, you guys know that is so my sense of humor. Love Papa Franco. Chrome says, speaking of food, you just reminded me. I decided to get a sausage and egg muffin from Popeyes this morning. I was literally the only person in the restaurant, and they still got my order wrong. That happens to me so much, Chrome. And you would think my order at a burger joint, it's got to be the easiest thing in the world, right? Plain. And I never just say plain, because I've learned you won't get it that way. I will go, like, if I go to Burger King, or even if I do go to McDonald's, I'll say, okay, I want a quarter pounder, plain, no cheese, please just meat and bun. Because you have to explain it. And then you only have a 50-50 chance of getting it right. They put that goddamn cheese on every time. Half the time, you can't get a plain burger. Trust me, as somebody who tries to get one a lot. Hamill says, going to GTA, the FBI agent you met, or FIB agent at the cafe was a dick. I already can't stand him. That's why I tried in the game. If it would have let me save it right there, I was going to go kill him. Because fuck him. But it wouldn't let me save right there, and I didn't want to lose all my progress by doing something stupid. Because I just wanted the satisfaction of shooting him in the face. Brother E says, so we know Via Napoli at Epcot is your favorite pizza place. What's your favorite burger place? Ooh. That's not as cut and dried. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. The fast food places, we have a burger place close to me here called Bad Daddy's. They have a really good burger. It's in Huntersville, North Carolina. That's way up there. Boy, I don't know. There's a lot of a lot of times it depends on which one I'm in the mood for. Of the regular fast food places, the run-of-the-mill ones, probably Burger King's. I really like Burger King's burger. I had a burger today. We were going to have, my wife was going to make burritos. And even then, I eat meat on a tortilla shell, nothing else. We were going to have them, and she wasn't feeling real well this evening. So I told her, well, just put that off till tomorrow. Last thing you want to do is cook when you don't feel good. So I just ran out. She wasn't going to eat right then. So I ran out and got Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen has good burgers. And so I just had a hamburger earlier. And they actually did it without the cheese. But I don't know that I have an individual favorite burger. That Bad Daddy's might be it right now, though. Oh, the Godfather movie? Sure, Mr. All-Nighter. I haven't watched them in years, but yeah, love them. I like Wendy's and Arby's too. Oh, yeah, Austin. Arby's is way too freaking good. When my eventual heart attack hits, Arby's will be a big cause of it. Because not only do I have to have the roast beef sandwich, you can't have anything but the half pounder. If I'm going to have a goddamn roast beef sandwich, it's going to be all half pound. Oh, it's way too fucking good. Oh, I like home cooked burgers too, Lex. But it's just more, it's just a convenience thing a lot of the time. No, my wife makes great burgers. You know who's got great hamburgers is Costco. Their own brand there. The frozen patties, oh man, those are amazingly good. We haven't been to Costco in a while. We got to go. And that's a large part of the reason why. Their own brand. I'm telling you guys, if you have a Costco near you and you haven't tried them and you like burgers, they come in, Costco, everything's big. I don't know, there's like maybe a dozen, maybe more in a sleeve, big plastic sleeve of them. Oh, they're so good. Beats, do you like soups or casserole? Some soups, not really a casserole fan. Costco's pizzas are good too. Yeah, they are, Ruler. They are. Yep, May 26th is the YouTube anniversary. It is, Apocalypse. And GTA 6 will be released on May 26th. That's right, too. I didn't even put that together. You're right. That's right. Great things happen on the same day. Let's go with that. Stormstar says, over here we call them double quarter pounders just to make ourselves feel better about being fat. Gnome says, when I die of heart failure, I want my obituary to say I died of MSG success. Austin says, Waffle House or IHOP? I'm going to tell you something that I should be ashamed of, being a Southerner now. I still haven't gone to Waffle House. My wife and I laugh about that all the time. They're everywhere down here. There's not one super close to us, but we go buy them all the time. And they are building one close to us here, so I won't have an excuse at all. So I can't make the comparison, but I love IHOP. Love IHOP. Waffle House will have to do some work when I do try it to pass them by. Oni, thanks for the super chat. Says your opinion on the famous full English breakfast. I'm not sure what that entails, my friend. Somebody hit me with that. We got a lot of folks from the UK in here tonight. What is the famous full English breakfast? What would that consist of? And I'll tell you what I think. Breakfast is my favorite meal, outside of my pizza. I love breakfast foods, so it's a good chance I'm going to like that. No, I've never seen a Waffle House brawl. Hell, I'd want to be involved in one, Chrome. I don't want to just watch. Denny's, I like Denny's better than both IHOP and better than Waffle House. Yeah, I gotcha. Regular diners. Oh yeah, a regular old school diner is good. I like Denny's. I haven't been to Denny's in years, but I always like them. Beans on toast with tea, Big Chungus says. Yeah, the hash browns from McDonald's, they're all right, but I found places that have better ones now, John. I even like, to be honest with you, I like Burger King's better. Okay, here we go. Chrome says, a full English breakfast is a hearty cooked breakfast meal often served in the UK. It typically includes bacon, sausage, eggs, fried, poached, or scrambled, baked beans, fried or grilled tomatoes, fried mushrooms, black pudding, and toast. Variations may include bubble and squeak and fried bread. Okay, let's go through that. Bacon's good. Not my favorite breakfast meat, but it's good. Love a good breakfast sausage. Love scrambled eggs, one of my favorite foods. Do not eat baked beans. Do not eat fried or grilled tomatoes or fried mushrooms. Black pudding I have never had. And love toast. Love any type of breads. So I guess that would count as I like that. Especially for me to have that many foods involved that I like. I love scrambled eggs. Nectar says, Curtis, do you cook yourself? I suck. I am such a horrifically bad cook. It stuns me. I mean, I'm not illiterate. I can read. So I read a recipe, do everything it says, and whatever the food is will come out like dog shit. Living on my own, I ended up learning how to cook, and it's been quite a journey. I lived on my own for quite some time too, and all I learned was back the first time I was on my own, you didn't even have microwaves, so I learned how to heat shit up on the stove in cans. Sometimes you didn't even heat it up. You just popped the Chef Boyardee can, zipped the top off, and just ate it out of the can. And then, since then, I just learned to microwave things. Oni says a visual of it would help a lot. But there's a lot of foods in there, Oni, I do like. Especially, again, if the cornerstone is the scrambled eggs. I love scrambled eggs. Himmel says, hi, Curtis, love your channel, so just supporting. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, my friend. It's very kind of you. Thanks a lot. Young Paco says, if Brian Griffin got beat up for an eternity, would you sob uncontrollably? You mean laugh hysterically? If that's what you meant to say, then yes. Brother, he says, does Disney World have good burgers? The burger sliders in the Boathouse are really good. Highly recommend trying to finally eat there. I know, I got to get there. One of the best restaurants on property and affordable. Everybody says that. And it's like not one we avoid, Brother E. It's just we found so many places we really, really like. It always ends up getting squeezed out. You know, it's like, I want to go here again, or I want to go there again. But, yeah, the burgers I've had there, are everything at Disney. I got to give them credit for that. Disney does have really good food. But that Liberty Tree Tavern, Brother E, we go there every trip now. We just love the food there. That's the first day. We're going the 21st of June, and that's the first reservation we have. Biscuits and gravy are phenomenal beaches. Excellent. Really good. I just had them the other day. It would be my nephew and his wife run a restaurant in upstate New York, near where we used to live in Broad Albin, New York. And I hadn't eaten there yet. And his wife is just a phenomenal cook. Her restaurant, she's the cook. And she made biscuits in a white gravy. And I had to try them. They were amazing. A white sausage gravy. It was so good. So good. Punch Brian in the balls? Yes, please. This is big 2018. Oh, it's amazing how fast time goes, Hamels. Oh, okay. Look, it says black pudding is a blood sausage. I think you'd like it. Do you? I would try. Blood sausage, blood fat. Oh, Chrome saying the same thing. So blood, fat, and grain. Genuinely one of my favorite things. I would try that. No guarantees because my tastes are so limited, but I would try it. What's a popular soda or candy you find gross? I always made fun of Bit of Honey bars. From the time I was a kid, and we'd go trick-or-treating. If somebody gives me a Bit of Honey, I'm going to throw dog shit at your door or something. I think Bit of Honeys are fucking nasty. You know what? It's a fun thing to try. I don't know, Brother E, if you've ever done that. I forgot what they call the place. Forgot the name of it, but in Disney, they have a place where you can go and try sodas from around the world, different soda flavors. The Beverly is one of them. The Beverly is one of the most notoriously disgusting things you can ever drink. I remember Brax and I went in there. I can't remember what they call that little area. And we're trying them. And some of the sodas were really good. And then there was this Beverly. Oh, my God. Why somebody... I can't imagine anybody consuming that. And yet it's apparently a thing someplace in the world. Mary Jane's. Yeah, I didn't like Mary Jane's either, Joe Schmo. That's a good one. Yeah, Mary Jane's were nasty too. Yeah, a Bit of Honey sucks. It does. Brack's doing good, Nectar. I was just talking with him a little bit ago. Oh, Beverly soda, worst thing since Domino. Oh, Frank. It just amazes you that someplace in the world, I forgot which country the Beverly is from, because the sodas are all by different countries. Oh, somehow people like that? They actually pay for that? Oh, Pixie Sticks. Remember them? Look fun. Yeah, that's all it was, just colored sugar. Yep. Oh, they do? Brother, he says, fun fact, they have it around the world at Epic Universe as well. That's cool. That's cool. I try not to eat the breakfast cereals anymore, Mr. All-Nighter, just because they're so sugary and I love them. I love them. But when I do eat them, Lucky Charms is one of my favorites. All depends on what I'm in the mood for. Always liked honeycombs, cinnamon toast crunch. Oh, like them all. Himmel says we had a soda in Ireland called Bar Soda. Strawberry vanilla flavor was banging. Really? Interesting. Big Chungus says, would you eat Indian street food? Some rice with poop? The funny thing is, Chungus, I've had, over the years, I've had several people from India, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, different things. So many of them hate Indian food. It always makes me laugh. So many of them just don't like the Indian food. That could be just my life experience. I'm not saying all Indian people hate their own cuisine, but the ones I've run into just love American food and want nothing to do with Indian food anymore. Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is good shit, Joe. It is. You think? Oni says, do you love McDonald's Coke as much as I do, Curtis? It's just different from the one in the can. Well, yeah, because it's in the fountain there. I don't know. It all depends. See, it seems to me when you go, especially in the fast food joints, sometimes they get the mix of the caramel and the soda water off, though, in some of those. Must be your McDonald's that you frequent must have a really good mix going. Really? I didn't know that. Chrome says, the funny thing is, some of the most popular Indian food is actually British. I didn't know that. I guess that makes sense with the histories. Vanilla Coke or Cherry Coke? Of the two, cherry. Vanilla Coke's not bad. Cherry Coke's really good. That's Mr. All-Nighter. That's one of Brax's big things. He loves Cherry Coke. Yeah, that definitely cherry of the two. Well, guys, I got to go. I'm so glad I got to do this. Thank you, guys, for being up with me, for hanging out with me and doing this stream. I'm going to do these more often. I promise I will. Yeah, this is what got me wanting to do it, is in the other streams, in the reaction video streams, the gaming streams, we've veered off here and there and start just chatting, and I forget how much I enjoy doing this. This is just a blast. I absolutely love this. Thank you so much for the great conversation. As I said, we didn't even need to do any doom scrolling. We never run out of shit to talk about in these streams. It's such a good time. Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. But thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Yeah, I got to tie up a couple things and get my ass to bed. 5 o'clock comes really early. Again, thanks for hanging out. And I will talk to you guys as soon as I can. Hopefully it'll be really, really soon.
We'll bang, okay?
And we'll bang, okay? That's what's important.